Hello Libra, welcome to your bonus reading here on Dove and Serpent Tarot. If you're watching this reading was meant to find you. Please hit the like button, leave a comment, consider subscribing to the channel, especially if this reading resonates with you. Now this is a general reading, so try to be open and receptive to whatever may come through during our time together. I am merely the messenger. And I ask you to connect directly with each of these cards and use your own intuition to take you beyond the details that I provide. And remember, Libra, that the most important part of any tarot reading is you. 10 of Cups. This is satiety, right? This is the desire that we have for a life that is just right. We don't want too much of anything. We don't want too little of anything. We want to be perfectly full, you know? This is like when you go to the buffet and you can either overdo it and feel miserable and it's just too much and you wish you never even went there, right? Or what if you don't eat enough and you leave and you think, I didn't get to eat my favorite foods, you know? I don't know why. I should have stayed and had more of something or different choices or whatever it was, you know. You filled up on the fried rice and you didn't get enough of your, I don't know, I like the sweet and sour chicken. But anyway, what we want is just the perfect amount. It was just like this. I couldn't have asked for a better day. You know, this was perfect. I wouldn't have changed anything. That's the kind of life we want. And this is your first card. This is front and center here. I think you're somebody that knows what your perfect life would really feel like, right? Maybe we need to fill in the details. Maybe we need some pentacles here to sort of solidify things. But I think you know what it would look like, what it would feel like. You know what you want. And you know what you don't want, okay? You know what you have just enough of. You know what you may have too much of. Sometimes the 10 of Cups is too much of a good thing, too much of something that it's like, I need to bring the levels down. I've got to augment my reality a little bit and make some adjustments, right? You're good at that. Let's put this card into some context and let's see what else is going on. Ooh, Ace of Wands, very nice. A Princess of Wands, an 8 of Wands, a 2 of Wands, you're kidding me. And, okay. There's the solidification, an 8 of Pentacles. That's a lot of fire. I mean, you are revved up. You are like, you're going. You're ready, you know? I think that your life is picking up the pace. I think that things are going fast. I think things will continue to move fast. And when things are going very, very fast, you know, it's kind of like when you're eating really fast, you may not recognize how full you're getting, and then at the end you're like, oh gosh, why did I eat all of that fried rice, you know? So when things are really fast-paced like this, we've got to be more careful because we could overdo it, you know? Also, Libra, if there's anything you would like me to pray over or meditate upon or send positive energy toward, please let me know, okay? Let's put the rest of our cards on the table, and then we can get into it. 3 of Pentacles. We've got a Prince of Cups, an Ace of Cups, and the Temperance card. Well, what a good card to get at the end, the Temperance card, right? Because it's sort of about moderation. It's the perfect balance. The Temperance card is saying, don't eat too much. Don't eat too little, right? You want to be just right. So that right there, strong confirmation. Yeah, strong confirmation that things are really moving too quickly, I think, in some area of your life. And there's a tendency to overdo things when we're moving too quickly. It's kind of like, you know, the old, I don't know if it's a wives' tale or not, but the idea that when we're eating, our brain is not going to register that we're full for like 20 minutes. So that 20 minutes, we're still shoveling in our experience, you know? And we tend to overdo it. It tends to be too much, right? So we've got to give time for our brain to register that satiety. So maybe really we got to slow down. slow down and let our sort of physiology and our neurology catch up with the experience. Yeah. And so then we can really get a good assessment of where we are. And if we need a little bit more, or if I think I'm just right, I'm going to go. Yeah. Let's select our mystery card. I like that we have the Eight of Pentacles right here in the center too. Yeah. That's the card of patience. That's a card of slowing down to see how you feel, right? You don't want to get too full here. So this is a random card for the Smith-Waite Tarot. This is the factor infinite and unknown, and we're going to set it down right here with Alien Simon Mork Ripley, or ASMR for short. We're not going to look at that card until the end, but it's going to tie everything together. It's going to give us our confirmation. If you have a prediction for that card, please put it in the comments. Now, I find it very synchronistic that we only have one major arcana energy, the Temperance card. And that is just, I mean, it's kind of uncanny, right? That's what we're talking about. Temperance, moderation, finding the middle road, not going too fast, not going too slow, finding that sweet spot where everything is just right. So the idea here is to temper yourself. Things have been going very, very quickly. Let's slow them down just a tad. Let's be patient. Let's rest. Let's take a break. You're at the buffet. You're in between plates of food. Just stop. Sometimes I take my family to the Chinese buffet sometimes, obviously, right? And, I'll eat a little plate and I'll be done and I'll just sit there. I'll sip my water, sometimes an iced tea. And my wife, Lenore, she does tea leaf readings over at Ula Tea Leaf Readings here on YouTube. Go sub her channel and tell her I sent you. But she'll ask me, you're done? You're not eating anymore? And I'm just taking a break. I'm going to see how I feel. See if I want anything else. And if I do, if I got a little bit of room left, what is it that I really want? Right? I don't want to just keep going so fast that then, then I just feel overfull, and then I leave this situation kind of disappointed. I'm feeling kind of miserable, and I'm disappointed because I didn't get to eat my favorite things, or what I was really craving, what I really wanted, right? And that's kind of like this Ace of Cups. If you rush to get your 10 of Cups, there's no room for the Ace of Cups. There's no room for what you really, really want. So we slow down so that we don't fill this up so quickly. And then we can start to get a good gauge of how we feel. And do I want something else? And if so, what is that? Do I have room for a little cookie? Or a little scoop of ice cream or something, right? What I really like is the green tea ice cream. If you ever had that, it's marvelous, right? So our only major arcana is that moderation, is that temperance, okay? And I think we're taking it in a very literal way today. Tempering yourself, slowing things down, not going to the extreme. You're not going to go to the buffet if all you want is a little nibble. You just want to peck at a couple things. No. We don't want to go to the other extreme where we feel like just because we're at the buffet that we've got to, eat everything as fast as we can, and we're going to leave miserable and disappointed because I didn't get to have my favorite dessert or whatever. Always leave a little bit of room, So then we've got a lot of fire, of course, right? Fire, 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 fire. And the fire kind of looks like a wall. It looks like an airplane even, right? It's just coming in. It's not slowing down. We need to hit the brakes, and that's the Eight of Pentacles. We've got all that fire. We've got water, water, water. Earth and earth. Okay. So this is really, I think this is very straightforward energy. The Ace of Wands is kind of the intention that you have. And let's remember why you're here. Why are you in this 10 of Cups type of energy? What are you trying to accomplish in life? What are you trying to fulfill? Are we trying to get to some particular state of satiety? Right? You're at the buffet because you're hungry. Right? And you got a big appetite. So whatever this situation is, if it is a business thing, if it is, it could be relationships, it could be really any desire. And it's really difficult for me to figure out what this is for you. You've got to know what this is. That you're trying to fill this desire. You're trying to reach this state of satiety. That's your intention. Okay. But we don't want to hurry up and get there. It's like we don't want to rush this, because then we're going to fill up our life with whatever this energy is, right? With this gratification, let's say, the satisfaction of our desires. But then, and that was our intention, that was our will, right? To satisfy our desires, to get that satiety, to get that fullness of life. It's kind of like, you've got an empty room in your house, and your goal, your intention is, well, to furnish it. Yeah. And so in one fell swoop, you buy all this stuff, you find all this stuff at the thrift stores, you get stuff online, you go to the furniture store, you borrow things, or you're gifted things from other people, you filled the room up, top to bottom, done. But you've done it so fast that you didn't really allow yourself time to sort of sit with it and see how you feel. Sometimes you got to take a break and just say, maybe it's done now. Is there room for more? And if so, what do I really want? You want to fill your life with things that have meaning. Not just because we're so hungry that we just want to hurry up and get it done. We want to enjoy the experience. We want to select those foods at the buffet that really, really satisfy us. Okay? But when you're so hungry, you're ravenous. You're just going to eat everything until you're just stuffed and overfull. It's like me at the holiday gatherings, which are coming up soon, and I'm starting to get nervous about that, because I go with such a hunger that I just eat everything that sounds good right now, but then it's like I'm so full by the end of the meal that I'm just, I didn't get to eat the pumpkin pie. I didn't get the yams, with the marshmallows on top. I love that. I didn't really get enough of the stuffing or, the dressing. I love that too. And so we've got to slow down. We have to be selective. We're not in a rush, in whatever situation this is for you. Let's be calm. Let's be selective, and let's really know exactly which things we're going to select. We don't have to hurry up and finish it just to get it done. Let's enjoy the experience. And let's really be selective. What are we furnishing this life with? What are the desires that we are really wanting to fill? Not just for the sake of trying to cure the emptiness. Okay? But being very selective. And let's really look and see what we are truly desiring, what will give us that sense of having that full life. Okay, there's no rush. Yeah. But there feels like there's a rush, right? Especially with our Princess of Wands underneath the surface here. This is kind of a reckless energy. Okay? This is the Princess of Wands is that part of all of us. We all have this in us, right? The tarot, every card in the tarot pack is inside of us. We are all, let's say, a Princess of Pentacles. We contain all the other cards. But whichever ones we see in the spread, these are the ones that maybe are a little bit more pronounced in you at this moment. This is what Spirit is choosing to show you about yourself, okay? But these cards are in all of us, all the time. And the Princess of Wands is sometimes that idea where we don't know when to stop. We don't know when to quit. Too much of a good thing. It happens, We can be overfull of something, and overfull of the things that really didn't mean much to us. In our insane appetite, this is kind of underneath the surface. I feel like this is kind of down in your gut. And this is just, I'm hungry. I don't care what it is. I'm going to eat. Okay? And now, this doesn't have to, obviously, it's not about food, right? This is about any desire that we truly have in life. This is an appetite for anything. We don't want to rush into something just to accomplish it, just to satisfy that desire. Whether this is a family thing, if this is romance or relationships or friends, or if this is a work thing, business thing, if this is an investment. It's just kind of like, we're almost choosing randomly or arbitrarily just because we want to hurry up and get it done. Okay? And this could go for anything. Maybe you're buying a house. Maybe this is a car. Maybe this is a renovation of some kind, right? Maybe this is any of these choices that we have in life. If you're buying a house, you have a need for a house, right? This is what your will is, your intention is to have a house. You don't want to just take the first thing that comes along just to say, okay, I've satisfied that need, I can move on to the next one now. I filled up that cup in my life, okay, now I can do the next one. Because maybe that's not really the house you want. Maybe that's not really the car you want, right? Maybe you're taking on something that's too much. Maybe it's, maybe it really isn't enough. Maybe it's not big enough for you, right? But just that appetite to get it done is, kind of feels like it's a quantity over quality here with this one. This is just that impulsive energy, that appetite. There's a need, I'm going to fill the need. Doesn't matter what I fill it with. You see? And of course, that is also part of our Eight of Wands. A lot of the fire energy, it's all connected here. The Eight of Wands is swiftness. It's a rush. It's a burst of energy that just is kind of like this anxiety. It's like, I need to do something. I don't care what I do, but I got to move. Right? Because we got that jazz hands. We're tap dancing on the shag carpet. We're doing the potty dance. It's like, I just need to do it. I don't know. I don't care where or what it is, but I've got to do it. There's this anxiety behind everything. So I think that, this is something in your life that's sort of, I don't know if it came from within or if it came from, the way that we were raised or this, something that is kind of like, I better hurry up. We've got to look back at this and we got to figure out, why do we feel like we're in such a rush with everything, Got to hurry up and get it done. Got to hurry up and do it. Why can't we slow down and enjoy the ride? Being at, again, back to the food. Leave it, I'm always talking about food, right? Back at the buffet, it's the experience of being there, of sort of having just the spectacle of all this food everywhere, right? And we're selecting the things that we really truly desire. And it's interesting, everybody's choosing something different. Some people are choosing things, oh, I would never eat that, right? And there are things that you prefer. Maybe you're going to experiment, try some other things, You're with your friends or your family, or you're just by yourself and you're just taking it all in. That's the experience. Being full at the end where you're just like, oh, okay, I'm full, time to go home. That's not the fun part, right? The fun part is in the experience. It's in the journey. If we're not enjoying the journey, the arrival at the destination doesn't really mean that much. Okay? But for some reason, there is this rush. There is this sense of urgency in you. I don't know where that stems from. Okay? Except maybe that it is something that has been instilled in you from when you're a kid or, through society or upbringing or through whatever, right? The Two of Wands is at the top of the path of the dove. You're somebody that can stop yourself when you need to. And I also feel that Two of Wands is a little bit of a revelation, perhaps about why there's such an urgency. Maybe you grew up in a household where there was competition, where if you didn't get what you needed quick, your siblings were going to get it. That there was this competition that says, look, if you're not the first one at the table, you're not going to get what you want. You're not going to get your choice. Right? And you're just have to settle for what's there. Okay. Sometimes this is also, it's some sort of a conflict or a competition. Now this is kind of like the way our history, our experiences of life, create these sort of almost unconscious habits in us in the present moment. Okay? It's the way, an animal, a cat or a dog, right, that has never had, and now I've fostered a lot of animals in my life, and so we would take care of dogs or we take care of cats and things. And you could always tell, like, let's say a dog, for instance, that was never really fed on a regular basis, right? Didn't have a consistent sort of meal every day. And when you'd set down a bowl of food, they would scarf it down so quick, and they'd be growling at everybody, and they would just eat so quickly. Sometimes they'd even regurgitate, because they ate too fast. Because they figured, I don't know when I'm getting another meal. And maybe they came from a situation at a shelter where there was a lot of dogs around, and they had to just eat quick or they weren't going to get anything. And over time, that dog would realize that I was going to feed it, 3 times a day. And, depending on the breed and stuff, but that it was going to get a consistent meal, consistent love and affection, and then it just it stopped caring as much about the food. It'd be sleeping, and I'd say, okay, here's your food. Okay, thanks. I'll eat in a few minutes. It was taking a nice little snooze in the sunlight or something, And we'd get up and mosey on over and it'd eat casually. It'd leave a little bit in the bowl and have it later as a snack, It wasn't that sense of urgency anymore. And I'm not trying to liken you to a canine, but we all have those instincts in us. Okay? But unlike the canine, we have that, higher spiritual energy or higher consciousness, or we have some sort of aspect to us that maybe it's just the mental part of it, that allows us to observe what we're doing. It's a self-awareness. Oh, yeah, I do that. Then I can work on that, Now, the interesting thing in your reading, right, we've got all this fire. Water, and earth. We don't have any air energy. We don't have a lot of that sort of discernment that I would expect, especially in a Libra reading that says, oh yeah, I am doing it this way, and I don't need to do it this way. I can do it a different way. Yeah. So sometimes we need a little bit of that power of self-observation. And I think the absence of the air cards are significant. Maybe it's Spirit's way of suggesting that we sort of stop or slow down or temper ourselves right now, get a little bit of that air energy, and have some mindfulness about what we're doing so that you don't end up overfilling your life, taking on too much of the wrong stuff. Okay? Or fulfilling all of these desires that we sort of miss the experience. We do it so fast that we it's like a blur. It's like I don't even remember enjoying that at all. I must have enjoyed it, right? Because now I'm here and I'm full, but I don't remember the process, right? So the 8 of Pentacles then becomes us slowing down. This becomes patience. It's prudence. Temperance and prudence here are the 2, I think, very important cards. It's slowing down. It's paying attention to the details. It's mindfulness, mindful eating. You ever done mindful eating? No phones, no devices. You can have YouTube playing in the background if you want, but otherwise, nothing, right? You're not talking. You're not thinking. You're not trying to do anything else. You're not reading the newspaper. You're just eating. First you're looking at the food, and you're smelling it, and you're sort of feeling its texture, and then you're tasting it, and you're chewing slowly, and you feel your jaw moving, you feel it in your mouth, and it's really a sensual thing. You're using all of your senses. You're tasting it, how it feels, you're swallowing it, you're feeling it sort of go down the esophagus, and now my stomach's growling. I think that you're able to really have an experience of it, So many of us go through life, any kind of thing that should be enjoyable, Now, we're using food as the metaphor here, but this is anything. That we go through it so quickly just to get it done that we miss the experience. It registers in there somewhere, but we're not consciously mindful of it. It doesn't fill our mind. It stays at the level of, that puppy that was always anxiously eating. So having your mind full of the moment, that is authenticity, right? That is being here, being now, in anything that you're doing. Especially if it's something that is supposed to be fun and a gratification, and it's supposed to be a big desire, and you're at the buffet, or you're doing something, you're on vacation, or you're going out with your friends or family or something, or you're having an intimate moment with somebody in your life. Right? In that sense, maybe it's good that we don't have too much air energy. I would like to see an Ace of Swords to go with our Ace of Wands and our Ace of Cups. Because we have no mind here, right? We have no air energy, which is, in one sense, wondering if we're really registering the experience, and if we're here, and if it's filling our mind. Now, maybe that's what the meaning is here. That the swords are gone. We're not thinking about anything. Our mind is full of this experience. There's no room for thoughts. There's no room for worries. There's no room for ruminations. Yeah. Maybe that's why the swords have been sort of squeezed out of the reading, right? So this is really paying attention. This is savoring every morsel and going slow enough that we are understanding how we feel. That 20-minute gap between our stomach being full and then it's sort of registering in our mind, before we really get that feeling of being full. Going slow enough that we can be in tune with our body and we know how we feel about things. Okay? Brings us over to the path of the serpent. And as we talk about these cards, I'd like to ask for your subscription too. If you haven't subscribed, please do. It's totally free, doesn't cost anything, and it really does support the channel, and I appreciate that. So your general energy then becomes this Three of Pentacles, which is a potential for more work, a potential for more action. It's kind of, if we're mindful, then we can gauge how much potential we have for more joy, for more food, for more love, for more of that experience before it becomes sort of sensory overload or before we become too full. So this is our capacity to do work. This is how much it's in a certain way, how much room is left in your stomach. Okay? And this is a general energy. This is you now understanding that, okay, I'm going slow. I'm going at a moderate pace, not paced. I'm being very prudent. I'm being very temperate. And there's potential for more. And in some ways it even is reflective of this sort of philosophy that I have of this channel of the 10 being really that idea of what we don't want. Because if you become sugar, you can no longer taste sugar. If you become so full at the buffet, then you cannot enjoy any more food. Of course, obviously with hunger, you're going to get hungry again. But the idea here is that we don't really want a 10 of cups. We want a 9 of cups, right? We want there to be a little bit left over so that I'm still a little bit hungry, so that I can go and have another experience. If you become sugar, you cannot taste sugar, right? So we could look at it as kind of eradicating desire altogether and not having a desire for anything. And yeah, maybe there's some benefit to that, right? Being so full that I've eaten all the food I could ever eat. Now I'm not hungry ever again. It doesn't seem very practical, though. It doesn't seem like that is really going to last long. And sometimes that happens. Sometimes we get so full we say, I'm never going to eat again. 2 hours later, we're in the fridge, you know. So it happens that way. So better to leave a little bit of room and leave the buffet still a little bit hungry, but still kind of satisfied. I could eat a little bit more, but I don't want to because that might put me over the top. This is the sweet spot where I'm still a little bit empty, right? So your Three of Pentacles is then the awareness of yourself and what the potential is in your life for more, what you sort of want to do next, right? And then I'm looking at this Ace of Cups because it's bugging me, right? It's the Ace of Cups. It's what you don't want. But this is it. It's like that's the bowl of ice cream at the end, right? But you don't have any room for it. You don't want, oh no, a dessert? No, there's no possible way. I can't tell you how many times I've been at a restaurant and I've eaten so much of the meal that when they come around and say, well, do you want a dessert? I forgot about dessert. Yes, I want one, but there's no possible way I could do it. I don't have the potential. I don't have the capacity to do that right now. But also this Ace of Cups is telling me that sometimes we fill ourselves up so quickly that we're not even getting to what we really truly want. Yeah. And so we have to, if we slow down, then we can be more selective. We can be more choosy, and we can say, I want that. I'm going to make sure that I save room for this, and I want some of this and this over here. And we can collect the things that we really truly desire, rather than just this urgency, fill it up quick. Quantity, quantity, quantity. No, let's go quality. Let's shift over to quality. Okay. And I think that's probably what the Prince of Cups is about in your relationships, in your environment. You're trying to be authentic. You're trying to slow down. And we had all that fire. Now we're sort of in the water energy, right? We went fire, and then we went a little bit of earth into the water. Okay? So I think that by slowing down, being in the moment, being mindful, consciously doing this, this process, whatever it is, that you're living a more authentic life, that you're being more discerning in your relationships, in your life, in your interaction with the universe in general. You're not accepting everything that's just being offered to you because I just got to hurry up and do it. No, you're saying, no, thank you. I don't want that. I'm waiting for this quality thing over here. It's kind of like you can eat a bunch of fried rice or you could wait for those steamed buns to be done cooking. And it's like, I'm going to wait. I know what I want, and I'm okay with waiting a little bit to get that. Okay? So it's living a life that's more meaningful, more authentic. Because you're not just taking whatever's being given to you, whatever's available, you're holding out for what you really, truly desire. What is going to be the most meaningful for you? Which is that, of course, the Ace of Cups, right? That is it. That's the thing that you've really been waiting for. Well, by the time this comes out of the oven, what if you're too full that you're like, I don't want this anymore? That would be a devastation. That would be a disappointment, right? That would be kind of a betrayal of yourself, right? So we're being told temperance, prudence, slow down. Don't worry about having to do everything so quickly. There's no rush. At whatever this, I don't even know what this is for you. There's no rush, though. Okay? It's about taking your time, enjoying the process, and making sure that you get to enjoy the things that you really do truly want. Something that has meaning and depth and satisfaction for you. Not just picking a bunch of stuff because you got to hurry up and get it done. It's like you're going clothes shopping. And you're just, anything that's in your size, you're taking it. Done. I'm out in 5 minutes, right? I don't like any of those clothes. I'm never going to wear them. You take your time. You look around. Things will speak to you. I want you to do that. I want you to do that soon. Yeah. I want you to go to a thrift store a Goodwill, any kind of, just, it doesn't have to be an expensive place. And I want you to go in and just take your time. I want you to just browse around. Maybe you'll leave the store empty. Maybe you'll find that one thing that just kind of really speaks to you. And you say, oh yeah, I want that, right? And I think that's going to be good for you, because there's no rush. You know, you don't have to just go in, get it. It's like at the grocery store. You don't want to just go in and just get everything real quick and then leave. No, take your time. What sounds good? What do you want? What are you really, truly looking for in life? Okay. Temperance. We don't need to rush. We don't need to go to extremes of being over full, nor do we want to sort of leave disappointed and still hungry. Okay, we got to take that middle road here. Well, I think this is good. I want to look at this mystery card. I'm kind of nervous about it. I feel almost that it's going to be an 8 of Swords. It might even be an 8 of Cups. I'm kind of feeling another 8. I would like it to be an Ace of Swords, because that would be this mindfulness. But it's not thought. It's not a confusion. It's not a whole dialogue, right? It's just clear mind, almost an empty mind. That's just full of the present moment. Mindfulness. If you have a prediction, put it in the comments down below. Let's see what we have. The Chariot. Interesting. Chariot is another one of these great cards that go with prudence and temperance, because it is discipline. It's our ability to say no. It's our ability to hold out and do things for quality instead of quantity. It's our ability to stay devoted to a higher principle. I am in love with this, so I'm not going to take a whole bunch of other stuff that I don't really want, but just to have something in my bag, you know, that I can wait. I can hold out for this. Okay. I think this is very good. It's sort of this devotion to a higher principle. And we don't have to rush the Chariot. We don't have to drive 100 miles an hour to get somewhere. Because I just want to hurry up and get there. Yeah, well, let's take our time. Let's enjoy the ride. It'll be safer that way anyway. Right? And then it'll be an experience, you know. But we're just in this rush. I've got to hurry up. Sometimes we're in a rush because we're running late, you know. And when you're running late, you sort of have to rush. You don't have time to enjoy the moments when you feel like you're running late. Okay. So maybe there are things we can do in life to perhaps prepare ourselves a little bit more ahead of time so we don't feel so rushed. Give ourselves more time. If you got 10 minutes to eat, well, you're going to just eat quickly. Whatever's there, it's 10 minutes and not a lot of time. And that's why I think with a lot of the jobs that I've had, we've had like a half an hour lunch break. Half an hour to eat lunch doesn't seem like enough. Especially if you have to go out somewhere and get it, or you're just going to the fridge, you're getting your lunch, you're sitting down, you've got maybe 15 minutes to eat, and then you got to hurry up and get back to your work. And it creates this feeling of rushing. And I don't like rushing. I don't like it. I'm always on time or early. I always have an intensity and a pep in my step. You know, everything is not just a leisurely stroll, you know, but I don't like to rush either. And I think this is something that we need to be aware of. We need to at least be observant of it in our own lives and see where we might be able to make some adjustments. Now, we're going to do an extended reading. If you want to stick around for that, there's a link in the corner. There is one down below. New readings for Libra on Wednesdays and Saturdays. Be sure to watch both readings. If you haven't subscribed to the channel yet, please do. It is totally free. It doesn't cost anything. And leave a comment. Let me know where in the world you're watching from. I want you to know that you're the most important part of Dove and Serpent Tarot. I thank you and I love you. And we're all in this together.